Welcome, everyone. We're excited to share information on the project status and changes to 13 St. Louis County transportation projects. These projects are in the final design phase, and they're expected to begin construction in 2026. This meeting is intended to update the public on the proposed improvements and design revisions, which have occurred since the preliminary design phase. Many of the design revisions were made to avoid the need for eminent domain and associated schedule impacts. This minimized St. Louis County's risk of losing federal grant money that was awarded for each of these projects. Lastly, we removed some minor improvements that were not explicitly identified in our federal grant applications. This was made to reduce the project cost and risk of additional property acquisitions that would further put schedules and funding at risk. In this presentation, we'll review the project locations, the proposed improvements, the current status, overview of design changes, and county contact information and website links. The following two projects are located within Council District 1. The North Hanley Road F resurfacing project is located between Natural Bridge Road and I-70. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the University Place Drive intersection. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make design revisions to a number of parcels on North Hanley. This includes reducing curb ramp widths to 4 feet at a few locations, but the ramps still meet existing sidewalk widths and are ADA compliant. To get ADA compliant designs within the right-of-way, we had to tighten the corners at Catherine Avenue, Jane Avenue, and Alva Avenue. These streets are all residential, with 2 being no outlets. We reviewed typical vehicle sizes, and all the vehicles reviewed, including emergency service vehicles, can still make those corners. The North Hanley design has been revised to provide some additional pedestrian improvements at University Place Drive, including wider sidewalks. There's also been coordination with Metro regarding the usage of bump outs at existing bus stops, as there wasn't enough right-of-way to allow an ADA bus stop behind the existing curb. These bump outs range from 7 feet to 30 feet in width, depending on the existing conditions at each location. The Olive Boulevard resurfacing project is located between Ferguson Avenue to Skinker Boulevard. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, signal improvements at the Kingsland Avenue intersection, and lane reductions to add new on-street bike lanes. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make several design revisions along Olive Boulevard. This included providing an alternate curb ramp design, such as the Westgate Avenue example, which is shown in Figure 1. At these locations, we fit ADA compliant ramps within the existing right-of-way to avoid easements. In addition, the proposed bike lane had to be reduced by 1 foot to equal a total width of 4 foot 6 inches for a curb extension east of Sutter Avenue. This reduction was made to accommodate an ADA compliant bus pad. The following two projects are located within Council District 2. Starting with the Craig Road resurfacing project, it's located between Olive Boulevard and Lackland Road. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the intersections of the West Oak Shopping Center, Ballas Road, Craig Elementary School, Via Dorado Drive, Borman Drive, and Lackland Road. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make several design revisions along Craig Road. We provided alternate ADA compliant curb ramp designs, which were fully within existing right-of-way. To keep these improvements within right-of-way, the corner had to be tightened at Northwest Orchard View Drive, reducing it from 32 feet to 25 feet. We reviewed typical vehicle sizes, including emergency service vehicles, and they all can make this corner. The Dorset Road resurfacing project is located between I-270 and Old Dorset Road. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the intersections with Weldon Parkway, Metro Boulevard, Millwell Drive, Schutz Road, and Fifi Road. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make several design revisions along Dorset Road. We provided alternate ADA compliant curb ramp designs, which were fully within existing right-of-way. Figure 1 utilizes a 6-foot sidewalk on the back of the curb rather than a grass buffer between the curb and a 5-foot sidewalk. Figure 2 shows the sidewalk and a curb ramp being shifted 1 foot closer to the street. It is also being reduced to 5 feet in width. The final designs for all locations along Dorset Road are fully ADA compliant and they still meet all St. Louis County design standards. The change to the Weldon Parkway intersection crosswalk location was made to enhance the safety of pedestrians. Although the crosswalk layout depicted in black requires a slightly longer distance to cross, this is the preferred design in terms of safety. The previous design, shown in red, really presented concerns related to drivers who were turning right from Weldon Parkway to Dorset Road. Yielding vehicles may not be aware of pedestrians crossing if they're looking back toward their left for an opportunity to turn right onto Dorset Road. The following 2 projects are located within Council District 3. The Big Bend Road resurfacing project is located between Lindbergh Boulevard and Couch Avenue in the city of Kirkwood. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, various safety improvements, and signal improvements to the intersections of Couch Avenue and Geyer Road. The project is currently in final design. There is ongoing coordination with the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad regarding the crossing at the Geyer Road intersection. Construction is anticipated to begin in 2026, but may not be completed until 2027. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we made several design revisions to Big Bend Boulevard. This includes providing alternate ADA compliant curb ramp designs, which were fully within existing right-of-way. Figure 1 utilizes a 4-foot sidewalk on the back of the curb to avoid replacing an existing retaining wall. Figure 2 alters the sidewalk replacement limits by transitioning the proposed curb ramp to existing facilities sooner to avoid the need for eminent domain. The final designs for all locations along Big Bend Boulevard are fully ADA compliant, even though several spots may deviate slightly from St. Louis County's typical design standard. We are still in coordination with the railroad regarding the at-grade railroad crossings at the Geyer Road intersection. We're working to obtain approval from the railroad prior to receiving final plan approval from MoDOT. Although progress is being made, some of the prior pedestrian improvements proposed at this intersection may be revised due to the railroad's requirements. We'll keep the public informed regarding any required design modifications. On to the Sulphur Spring Road resurfacing project, which is located between Manchester Road and Big Bend Road. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements across streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the intersections with St. Joseph's Lane, Coventry Lane, and Wren Avenue. The project is currently in final design, and construction is expected to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make several design revisions along Sulphur Spring Road. This includes providing alternate ADA-compliant curb ramp designs, which were fully within existing right-of-way. Figure 1 shifts the curb ramp 1 foot closer to the back of the curb, but it still leaves 4 feet of grass buffer. Figure 2 shifts sidewalk alignment, utilizing existing drainage structures as part of the pedestrian access route. The final designs for all locations along Sulphur Spring Road are fully ADA compliant, and they still meet all St. Louis County design standards. To get an ADA compliant design within right-of-way at the southeast corner of Winding Path Lane, the curb had to be reduced from 35 feet to 30 feet. We reviewed typical vehicle sizes, including emergency service vehicles, and they can still make these movements even with the slightly reduced corner. The following 3 projects are located within Council District 4. The Charbonnier Road Resurfacing Project is located between Hauterschell Road and Lindbergh Boulevard. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and new sidewalk at St. Ferdinand Church, and signal improvements at Lawson Elementary School. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make several design revisions along Charbonnier Road. This included providing alternate ADA-compliant curb ramp designs, which were fully within existing right-of-way. Figure 1 utilizes a 6-foot sidewalk in the back of the curb rather than a grass buffer between the curb and a 5-foot sidewalk. The existing Brentwood Nursing Center entrance width is being modified to closer resemble a standard commercial entrance. We reviewed typical vehicle sizes, including emergency service vehicles, and they can still make this corner even when it's slightly reduced. This modification allows for safer pedestrian facilities at the intersection at Linkus Drive. Now to the Old Jamestown Road Sidewalk Project. This is located between Hazelwood Central Middle School and Jamestown Elementary School. This is the 3rd and final phase of the sidewalk improvement project on Old Jamestown Road, and it spans from Parker Road to Hazelwood Central Middle School. The project includes new sidewalk along the east side of the road. Additionally, driveway replacements and drainage improvements will occur along the project limits. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026, pending completion of the property acquisition phase. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make one notable change along Old Jamestown Road. The proposed sidewalk was planned to have a grass buffer between the roadway, but there was one property where the sidewalk had to be realigned to the back of the proposed curb for a length of approximately 185 feet. The sidewalk width in this section varies between 4 and 5 feet. Although this does not meet St. Louis County's typical design standards, it is still fully ADA compliant. Also, since the preliminary plans were first shared with the public, we've added a crosswalk and curb ramps to connect Jamestown Elementary School with a local park. The Redmond Road resurfacing project is located between Old Halls Ferry Road and Lewis and Clark Boulevard. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the intersections with Old Halls Ferry Road, Jerry's Lane, Keevan Elementary School, and Graneman Elementary School. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. On Redmond Road, to avoid the need for eminent domain, we had to make one design revision at Rock Gate Court. To get ADA compliant designs within right-of-way, the curb at Southeast Rock Gate Court had to be reduced to 25 feet. We reviewed typical vehicle sizes in all vehicles, including emergency service vehicles, and they can still make these movements, even with a slightly reduced corner. The following 3 projects are located within Council District 5. The Big Bend Boulevard resurfacing project is located between Laclede Station Road and East Lockwood Avenue in the city of Webster Groves. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the intersections with South Old Orchard Avenue and Laclede Station Road. The project is currently in the final design stage, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain here, we had to make one design revision at the southeast corner of Big Bend Road and Log Cabin Lane. The curb ramp, shown in Figure 1, had its length and its slope modified to fit the proposed ramp, and we had to transition the sidewalk fully within row. The modified ramp parameters still meet current St. Louis County design standards, and they are ADA compliant. The Hanley Road Laclede Station Road resurfacing project is located between Newport Avenue to Manchester Road. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at Marshall Avenue, Oxford Boulevard, Sun Drive, and Flora Avenue. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. It may not be completed, however, until 2027, pending final property acquisitions clearance. To avoid the need for eminent domain, we're redesigning the improvements at the intersection with the Deer Creek Shopping Center. We're addressing property owner access concerns that may take place during construction. The intersection will still include new ADA compliant curb ramps and pavement resurfacing within St. Louis County's right-of-way, but it will limit paving, median realignment, and signal improvements on the Deer Creek Shopping Center property. The Laclede Station Road resurfacing project is located between Watson Road and Weil Avenue. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements to cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, and signal improvements at the intersections with Ravens Ridge Road and East Jackson Road and Kenrick Manor Drive. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To minimize property acquisitions, we made a number of design revisions along Laclede Station Road. This included a reduction of curb ramp widths to 4 feet along the majority of the proposed replacements along that corridor. The reduced 4-foot curb ramps meet existing sidewalk widths, and they are still ADA compliant. To get ADA compliant designs within the right-of-way at the southeast corner of Weil, the corner was tightened and reduced to 20 feet. We reviewed typical vehicle sizes, and all of them can still make the corner, including emergency service vehicles. Larger vehicles, however, such as tractor trailers, may need to use both northbound lanes to navigate the right turn. Those are rare occasions, though. The following project is located within Council District 6. The Baumgartner Road resurfacing project is located between Old Baumgartner Road and Telegraph Road. The project includes pavement repairs and resurfacing, pedestrian improvements at all cross streets, repairs to existing infrastructure, drainage improvements at the Oakville Shopping Center and near Fireleaf Drive, and signal improvements at the intersection with Gebhardt Drive. The project is currently in final design, and construction is anticipated to begin in 2026. To avoid the need for eminent domain with this project, we made several minor changes along Baumgartner Road. These revisions reduced impacts to private driveways. Figure 1 shows an example of the revisions. Despite the changes, all curb ramps are still fully ADA compliant, and additionally, they also comply with St. Louis County's design standards. We did not need to modify any of the curb corners with these revisions. We did not need to tighten them. In addition, we're making more safety improvements by replacing existing guardrail and adding new guardrail between Old Baumgartner Road and Chalet Forest Drive. And that concludes our presentation. For more information regarding all of the projects discussed, please reach out to the area engineers. They're listed here on the slide. We welcome any comments or questions that you may have. Thank you.